Hello everyone, how are you doing? I hope that you are doing so very well. Today we're going to talk about all the books that I read in November. But first, let's talk about Kindness Challenge. Last month's Kindness Challenge was to take place in a Thanksgiving basket giving out, packing all sorts of everything. And I kind of did this. I didn't quite do it like to a T, but we had a giant health fair at my work and we handed out Thanksgiving supplies there, as well as other canned goods. And we also made Thanksgiving dinner for our entire staff and the youth that we work with, so I was kind of a part of it that way. But I kind of failed in my actual challenge of doing it. I hope that you guys did it. If you did, let me know down below. Tell me stories about it. I want to hear them. As for December's Kindness Challenge, I'm making it kind of another freebie. It's the end of the year. I know you guys know where your kindness is most needed, whether that's giving a gift to somebody who would normally get it, volunteering at a soup kitchen, or something else. You guys know where you can be most kind in your community for the holiday season. So we're just gonna close out the year with a freebie. Do any random act of kindness during the entire month. I know kind of October we did that, but I had like a side option that was just like, if you couldn't do that, you could do this other thing. This is a total free month. Just do a kindness challenge to somebody who needs it. You got this, and I can't wait to hear your stories. Now let's jump into the books that I read. I read 6 books in the month of November, which is pretty good because I'm actually currently in the process of moving. So I'm filming this pretty early, but I'm not planning on reading any more books during November because of all the moving that we're doing. This month has just been insane. So I'm just really glad that I ended up reading 6 books. First up, we've got Revenge, Ice Cream, and Other Things Best Served Cold by Katie Finn. I got this book from the library because I own Broken Hearts, Fences, and Other Things to Mend, and I just wanted to finish out the series. I wanted to be done with it. I wanted to know what happens. And I saw them at the library and I was like, all right, it's time. I went to the library saying, I'm not gonna bring back any books. Brought back 3, but I read them all in like one weekend, so it works. In the first book, a girl named Gemma goes back to the Hamptons after being gone for 5 years. When she was there before, she kind of ruined her best friend's life, and now she's met that friend again, but because of some misunderstanding, they think that she is a girl named Sophia, so she's trying to make things right while pretending to be someone else. And there's just a lot of things that happen there. As you can tell, there is some revenge in this book, and that's the main thing I didn't really like about it. I think that I just don't really like revenge plot books. But besides that, I liked it. It was really addicting. It was really fun to read. It was just like summer romancy kind of stuff. And I know it's not summer, but I'm pretending like it is. The romance was just really the best part. All of the stuff with the romance in these books was so good. That's what Katie Finn, Morgan Matson, does best, so she did a really great job with that in this book. I gave this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Surprise, it's me from the future, and I'm still wearing the same sweater. What a time to be alive. This was not planned. I'm sorry if this isn't coherent because I'm sick and I look like a mess. It's a great time to be alive. I'm about to talk about Carve the Mark in my wrap up. I talk a lot more in depth about my thoughts and everything in Carve the Mark in a book haul that I've got coming out really soon, but I wanted to address it here. There are some very problematic things with Carve the Mark. Rather than rambling and talking more about it, I'm just gonna link some stuff down below and some resources for you. They know much better than me, and they are the people you should be turning to about stuff like this. I'm extremely sorry and ashamed and mad at myself that I didn't pick up on these things when I was reading it the first time, and I apologize for that. I'm very sorry, and that's all I can say, and that I'm going to try to do better, but there's no excuse for it. I didn't want to let this go by without saying something, so I just recorded something quick on my phone. And sorry that you're seeing this hot mess of me in the middle of this video. I meant to make it better, but I didn't, so here we are. Moving on to the video. Next up is Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth. I was sent this by HarperCollins and I actually did a sponsored review for them that you can go check out here. I will link it. I absolutely loved the characters. The characters were incredible and phenomenal, and you want to know more about. The plot and the world building, however, were just kind of I spent the majority of the book really confused. Things that were good, things that were bad. If you want to hear more, go check out my non-spoiler review. I gave this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Next up is London Belongs to Me by Jacqueline Middleton. This is about a girl named Alex who, after college, she kind of has a heartbreaking situation happen to her, and she just packs up her life in the US and moves to London to pursue playwriting. Again, things that I liked and things that I didn't like about this book. I really loved Alex as a main character. She is a fangirl to a T, also to the point that it kind of got a little over-described. The plot was a little bit all over the place and I didn't really know what the central theme or like what the point was. At the same time, it's a contemporary book, so it's more about relationships and less about plot. And that's really what this book was good at. It was really good at relationships. One cool thing in this book is that Alex meets one of her internet friends whenever she gets to London, and they have that conversation about internet friendships, which is not a conversation that I really see in books. So it was really fun to see that because I was like, yes, internet friendships are great. About a third of the way through this book, it was like I could not put it down. I had to know what happened. I had to know what the ending was, and I was like, I can't stop reading. If you like contemporaries, if you like stuff like Anna and the French Kiss, you will probably like this book. I gave this book a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Next up, I've got Hearts, Fingers, and Other Things to Cross by Katie Finn. This is the 3rd book in the Broken Hearts and Revenge series, and it was probably probably my favorite book out of the three because it was less about revenge and less about cattiness and more about romance and getting along and stuff. And I'm trying not to give away spoilers because there's like a huge reveal in the first book. There's some great characters in this. Ford is really great and I love him a lot for so many reasons. Katie Finn / Morgan Matson writing them guy characters that I love. I liked how everything tied up. I thought it all tied up nicely as a series and it ended really well. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. I also got this from the library. I love the library. The next up is the last book I got at the library, and that is Dash and Lily's Book of Dares by Rachel Cohn and David Levithan. This is about a girl named Lily and a boy named Dash. Lily leaves a book with instructions in the Strand and Dash finds that book, and they spend the book going back and forth giving each other instructions and dares and things that they have to do, and then finding the book again and then repeating the process, and it's really fun. It takes you all around New York City at Christmas time. This was a really fun romance book. It's really different from any contemporary I've read, but that's the reason that I liked it. I also really liked that there are 2 authors because the 2 voices were so distinct. I'm sure they worked on both voices, but it switched perspectives and it was like very distinct whose perspective was whose, which was really great and made things really easy to follow. The only thing I had an issue with was that the kids were a little bit pretentious with how they talked. It's kind of the same thing that you see with The Fault in Our Stars where like the kids are talking at a really high level, and it's not to say that teenagers can't talk at a high level, it's just not really the norm. But besides that, really liked it, really liked the plot. It was super fun and a really great Christmas time read. November's Christmas time, get over it. And last but not least, I've got The Bird and the Sword by Amy Harmon. This is about a girl named Lark who lives in a world where there are gifted people, but those gifted people are hunted down and killed. When she's really young, her mom gets killed by the king in front of her, and while her mom is dying, she says, "Lock your words away," because she's gifted, which basically makes her mute. Skip forward to when she's 21, as part of kind of a power struggle with her dad and the king. She's taken to the king's castle away from her family, and it just follows her journey there. I was not expecting to like this book that much. I don't know what I was expecting out of it, but I loved it so freaking much. Lark is such an amazing character. She was so fantastic and so wonderful, and just everything, the magic system and the world building were so simple and so easy to understand and so just great. The only thing I had an issue with is kind of spoilery, but it has to do with some relationship issues and some power balance issues. But besides that, I really liked it. I actually did a review of this book as well. You can go check it out here. I have non-spoiler thoughts as well as spoiler thoughts, and I will go a lot more in depth there. I listened to the audiobook as well. The audiobook narrator was phenomenal, so I would highly, highly, highly recommend the audiobook. And that's it. That's all the books that I read in the month of November. Let me know down below what your favorite book you read in November was, or if you're American, what your favorite thing you ate for Thanksgiving was. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Wow. I read 6 books in the month of December.